This song is highlight. Look, you want to talk about it? Josh want to go ahead. Talk about it. Talk about it. Kanye West said he was sucking since he was 8 years old and stopped when he was 14. That's 6 years of sucking. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, it can get tired after 6 years. It's like a relationship. You gotta, find ways to make it new again. I understand why you stopped after 6 years.
Nah, I don't know.
His aunt, my husband's aunt, his cousin has a double life sentence for a murder. She's like, I'm not even that distraught anymore. Like, that's just what happens to the kids in our neighborhood. Like, there's just no other choice.
My cousin is locked up for, and I love him. I saw he did a bad thing, but I still love him.
Kanye West woke up the world when he quietly dropped a song called Cousins on X without posters, teasers, or a slick countdown. And within moments, every news feed, group chat, and classroom phone lit up. Listeners learned right away that this 4-minute track was not a brag about sneakers or a playful beat. It was a serious confession about a wound he says began when he and a male cousin were only 6. According to Kanye's lyrics, they found hidden grown-up magazines at a family house, copied what they saw because they did not understand the pictures, and then kept the secret for years, leaving Kanye with a heavy knot of guilt that pulled on him even after he became one of the planet's most famous artists. Midway through the song, he shares an even more shocking twist. That same cousin, now grown, is serving a double life sentence because at 17, he killed a pregnant woman. And Kanye wonders in the song if the shame and fear they carried as kids pushed his cousin toward that terrible crime. When the track hit the site, the hashtag Cousins Confession jumped to #1 worldwide in minutes, and people from Detroit to Dubai posted reactions, memes, thoughtful threads, and tearful TikTok clips faster than reporters could keep up. Supporters praised Kanye for opening a door many families keep locked, saying honest words might give courage to others who have kept quiet about private hurt. Critics argued that sharing such raw detail with no warning could scare young fans who stream his music every day on the way to school. Counselors on morning shows split into 2 camps. One side said telling the truth is the first step toward healing, while the other side warned that reliving trauma so publicly can hurt both the speaker and the audience if there is no safety net. Streaming apps like Spotify and Apple Music were not shy about recommending the track. The more clicks it got, the more often it showed up in popular playlists, and by lunchtime it had already passed the 10 million play mark. Record label bosses saw both risk and reward. A confession that heartfelt can shift culture, but it can also scare sponsors who do not want their soda or clothing logo placed next to such a heavy topic. Behind the scenes, insiders said Kanye's wife Bianca Censori did not see the lyrics until the rest of the world. She pulled back from social media to avoid the storm, while Kim Kardashian reposted an old clip from her 2020 Justice Reform show where she talked about the cousin's crime, reminding everyone this shadow has followed the family for years. Lawyers pointed out that relatives could sue if they feel exposed, but creative speech is usually protected unless proven to be false. Kanye kept typing after the song came out, posting that he still loves his cousin, feels partly to blame for introducing those magazines, and wants to give part of the streaming money to groups that teach children about safe boundaries and healthy trust.
I guess allegedly Jeffree Star has been sleeping with Kanye West, and that's why they're getting a divorce. Goodbye. But no, Jeffree Star is single, and I've never slept with Kanye.
Someone made rumors about me and Kanye, which
Correct.
is so stupid.
Untrue?
Yeah.
Completely untrue?
Very untrue. But I guess it made sense. I live in Wyoming. I live in Hidden Hills. Okay, we both live in the same area. It's the way it was mapped out, I guess.
Charities reported a spike in donations labeled Cousins Fund only hours after the first play, showing a song can turn virtual attention into real-world help. School districts sent notes home recommending parents talk to their kids before they listen, and some stations skipped the track during daytime hours to avoid surprising younger listeners. Even Wall Street noticed. Shares linked to Kanye's shoe brand dipped in the morning, then bounced back by dinner once collectors snapped up limited edition pieces tied to the buzz. Historians compared Cousins to classic confessional songs like Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, explaining that sometimes music forces society to face problems it would rather ignore. Tech experts warned about deepfakes, spotting fake clips with altered lyrics already spreading online to stir confusion, and they reminded people to double-check sources before sharing. Faith leaders hosted emergency talks about protecting kids, while civil rights groups argued that underfunded schools and scarce counseling let trauma grow until it explodes, proving communities need more resources, not more silence. Across the ocean, some radio regulators banned the track, others added loud content warnings, and a few allowed it after dark only, showing censorship rules change from place to place. Podcast hosts debated whether Kanye planned the release as a publicity move or simply had to unburden his heart, but marketing professors said no strategy could manufacture the tidal wave of clicks that followed. Publishers smelled a book deal and rushed to reach Kanye's team, yet insiders said he wants full control and refuses dramatic ghostwriters. Economists predicted Kanye might earn hundreds of millions if curious listeners stream his older albums, though ethicists urged that any extra money made from painful memories should help youth safety programs, not just new mansions. Insurance brokers for concert arenas held quick meetings to decide if shows now need extra guards or special protest zones if Kanye performs Cousins live. True crime podcasts compared the Cousins case to other crimes tied to early childhood hurt, while AI content farms flooded search results with sloppy articles, forcing reliable news outlets to fact-check faster. Universities announced new seminars in music, sociology, and psychology to study the song alongside research papers on intergenerational trauma. Lawmakers in 3 states introduced bills that demand digital warning labels on songs with graphic themes, using Cousins as the main example, though free speech groups warned that unclear laws could block important stories. European and Asian regulators each reacted differently. Some banned the song, some approved with big alerts, and some limited it to late-night hours, proving the world cannot agree on the same rulebook. Style analysts saw mixed signals. Some sneaker drops lost resale value, but charity tees linked to child safety groups sold out in minutes, showing buyers can tell the difference between profit and purpose. Search trends showed a spike in therapy near me during peak streaming, hinting that Kanye's confession pushed many to seek professional help. By evening, data scientists reported the track defied normal patterns by holding listener attention for 12 straight hours, a feat usually reserved for major world events. Language teachers noticed the rhythm of the song feels like ancient West African laments, which might explain why it sticks in the head. Activists used the spotlight to call for better lessons in schools about body safety and healthy boundaries, hoping to prevent future tragedies. Ethics watchdogs insisted any new wealth from Cousins should support youth programs, and many fans agreed in comment threads. Here at Spill Drops, we are watching every turn. We are digging into old court records to find missed warning signs, following lawmakers who quote the lyrics while crafting new online safety rules, and tracking streaming platforms that promise clear content alerts but often move slowly. We will drop a deep dive report soon with fresh interviews and verified facts, so turn on notifications if you want the full story without fluff. While the conversation grows louder, one giant question hangs in the air. Can a superstar pour out such a deep wound in public and still heal? Or does endless replay keep the pain echoing like a song stuck on repeat? Only time, new laws, and maybe another surprise release will reveal the answer. But one thing is certain. Kanye West has opened a door many households nail shut. And now that it is open, the echo will roll through music, law, business, and everyday lives for years. Data firms later released colorful heat maps showing how listener engagement spiked first in big US cities, then in South America, and finally across Europe, proving that viral emotion travels almost exactly along the same lines as international flight paths. Teachers in middle schools from Atlanta to Anchorage reported that students began asking serious questions about boundaries and trust during homeroom, forcing faculty to dig up age-appropriate resources overnight. A group of health teachers even built a last-minute lesson plan titled "When Music Talks About Hurt," which uses edited clips from Cousins to guide discussions about speaking up when someone crosses a line. Meanwhile, librarians noted a sudden jump in checkouts of memoirs by other artists who overcame early life hardship, suggesting that music can act as a bridge leading young readers to deeper stories. Back on the industry side, digital distributors quietly celebrated. One executive leaked a chart showing the song generated more first-hour plays than any track released since 2023, even beating some blockbuster pop debuts. That same chart revealed that 90% of listeners who finished Cousins then played at least one older Kanye song, meaning his entire catalog got a fresh boost. which in turn means larger royalty checks every month. Yet accountants were quick to remind reporters that each play earns only fractions of a penny, so even tens of millions of streams do not automatically cover the massive cost of West's fashion experiments, hinting that the artist might still rely on clothing deals to balance the books. On the social side, many fans began sharing personal stories in comment sections, telling how the song gave them courage to talk to counselors, friends, or parents about experiences they had buried for years. Some of these posts received thousands of supportive replies, showing the healing power of shared empathy when the internet is at its best. However, trolls and rumor pages also flooded the topic, spreading false claims about the cousins' past and about Kanye's own childhood, which caused confusion until local Chicago reporters confirmed court details from the original murder case. This tug-of-war between truth and rumor sparked fresh calls for better digital literacy training in schools, so kids can spot junk information before sharing it. Streaming platforms tried to keep up by adding clearer description labels and counseling links right under the play button, a small but important step forward that many parents cheered. Record store owners, yes, the ones who still sell vinyl, saw lines on release day from collectors who wanted a physical copy if the track ever ships on a limited 7-inch single, proving nostalgia and shock can stand side by side. Music video directors began pitching ideas in case Kanye wants visuals. Some suggested animation to tell the story without actors, while others proposed a documentary style using shadows and voiceover so viewers focus on words instead of spectacle. Talent agencies debated whether young clients should post reactions. Publicists worried that applauding too loudly could tie a teenage actor to controversy, while saying nothing might look like ignoring an important issue. In politics, a few lawmakers quoted the song during hearings about mental health funding, arguing that if a billionaire star says early childhood hurt can ruin lives, Congress should invest in early help. Data scientists measured not only plays, but also how long people discussed the track, noting that unlike a normal fad, this conversation refused to fade after 48 hours, which suggests deep cultural impact instead of shallow viral hype. Gaming companies dipped their toes by creating rhythm game levels that use a censored instrumental, while on-screen messages remind players to speak up if something feels wrong. Luxury brands that sponsor tour formed a joint task force to decide if they will still support Kanye's next arena run, knowing protests might appear outside venues. Agents for social media influencers reported record engagement on commentary clips that used kind language and clear facts, proving well-researched content can still go viral even in an era of clickbait. Comic book writers floated the idea of a graphic novel focused on healing rather than harm, showing every creative industry sought an angle. Through all the noise, two facts remained. Art can spark more talk than 100 speeches, and talk can turn into action if people stay focused after hashtags fade. Spill drops will chart which promises grow into real programs, which laws pass, and how other artists choose to share their deepest chapters. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if you believe smart discussion can make pop culture safer, because that is our goal every single day.